This week on A Few Good Minutes, I get to sit down with Lowell's own Micky Ward. For those of you who don't know Micky, for being a world-famous boxer, he is also the subject of the 2010 film The Fighter, starring Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale. I think it's hard enough to be a successful boxer, but to do that when you have so many other things and so many other distractions is amazing. Before we get started, I want to let you know me and your brother Dickie got something in common, because I know Dickie's the pride of Lowell.
Yeah.
I'm the pride of Framingham.
Perfect.
Actually, I'm not the pride of Framingham. I've always wanted to ask you, when did you first, fall in love with the sport?
I started when I was 7 years old, my first fight. I fought Freddie Roach's brother Joey in an outdoor arena in Lynn, Mass. Lynn Harbor House it was called. But anyways, I started at 7, but I didn't really fall in love with it. I loved it. I obviously loved it, but I didn't think I would do this as a profession until I was like 18, 19.
From what I understand, you won your first 14 consecutive fights as a pro.
Yes.
That's amazing.
That year, or was it 87, 86, I fought 9 times in 1 year, and all in Atlantic City.
How do you fight 9 times in 1 year as a pro?
I fought, I know, a lot of fights, 2 fights a month sometimes.
Weren't you sore?
Yeah, and I won my first fight, and then my second fight, then Teddy Brenner from New York, the great Hall of Fame matchmaker, just passed away since, but he took a liking to me on ESPN, my third fight, and I signed with Top Rank, Bob Arum, Top Rank Boxing back in like 84 maybe, or 85.
Because you went pro in 85.
Right, exactly. And then from my third fight on, I was fighting in Atlantic City. I fought there probably 28 times.
Really? So at what age did Dickie start training you?
Dickie's been training me since I started.
Really? What was it like having your older brother train you?
Obviously, there was a lot of tough times when he got, when he got older and he started going into the drugs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times he wasn't there. Guys, they were always there. Mickey O'Keefe.
Right.
Mickey O'Keefe was a big part of my career too. I had a lot of guys training, helping when Dickie wasn't there, but when he was there was nobody better.
You mentioned Dickie not being there, so we know that at one point Dickie went off to prison. He couldn't be there.
Right.
So how was that on your training, though? Mentally, it's a big mental game.
I mean, once you get to a certain level, it's like 80-90% of it.
So how did that affect you, though, right?
But I think that's what just made me mental tough, is just like going through that.
Really?
And I think looking back now, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because it made me so mental strong, and because I always said, I trained as hard as if he was there if he wasn't here. That's just in me. That's just in me there.
But did you feel angry at him?
Sometimes,
for not being there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sometimes, Sometimes, but I didn't let it get me down or make me lose focus of the task at hand,
So I want to fast forward a little bit. You won your first 14 consecutive fights, and then you lost 4 consecutive, which led to a hiatus. Like, I think it was 91, maybe? You decide you're going to take a break. You work on a paving crew.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different life.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you went through mentally, what that was like.
Yeah, it was depressing a little bit, but I never really looked at it as being depressing. I just looked at it as a bump in the road, being mentally strong, saying, okay, I've lost 4. Let me get back on track, and I always left like all the outside stuff outside.
I think it's time that we talk about the fact that there was this major motion picture about your life and about your brother Dickie, about your family. And what was interesting to me is that was really a story about family and about relationship. And boxing almost took a backseat in that film.
Well, it started back in probably 99, 2000, before I went over to London to fight for that WBU title. The guy Keith Thornton, he was doing a little documentary type thing.
Local guy, right?
Local guy.
Yeah.
My brother just getting out of jail. And it started back then, this little thing, and I guess someone in California, Los Angeles, LA, got a hold of it, and they loved the idea of it, and then it got shopped around, and Mark got a hold of it.
When did Mark get a hold of that? When did he get involved?
I think he got involved right at the beginning, pretty much.
Did he?
Yeah.
Christian Bale obviously won an Academy Award for his portrayal of your brother Dickie.
Right.
Was there any time at that point when you were either watching them on the set film or watching the movie, did you ever think you're watching your brother Dickie?
Watching a movie the first time, like a dry run, whatever they call it, before the movie came out. They brought us out to California to watch it, and we're in the Paramount Pictures. We're at the studio, so watching the movie with Mark, Christian, and all them. So Mark's beside me and Dickie's beside Mark. So the part where Dickie's jumping out the window, and so Dickie's looking at it like, he's looking like. So I says to Dickie after, I goes, "Why did you look like that?" He goes, "Why you didn't jump out of the second floor?" He goes, yeah, I jumped out. He goes, but I went out to third, not to second. He said, and I knocked myself out and got up and ran. He goes, there's no barrels under me, no bags.
Unbelievable.
I was like, oh, and Mark looked at me, Mark just started laughing, going, oh boy, you know. But he liked it. I mean, Dickie, at first he wasn't too kind of fond of it.
Really?
But he came to like.
Was it tough for him to watch some of this stuff?
I think it was because of all the problems he was going through.
Yeah.
Kind of brought him back to that.
Sure.
You know, so it was a little tougher for him than it was for me.
So I noticed that you've so obviously stepping away from the sport, you have done quite a bit of motivational speaking. How did that come about? Is it something you enjoy? Is that something that you want to start doing more of?
Yes. I love it. Yeah, I started doing the motivational speeches a while back. You know, when the movie was coming on, it was very like, you know, the name was out there. I was doing motivational stuff.
And you got MickyWard.com, right?
MickyWard.com.
So if people want to get in touch with you, that's the way to do it.
MickyWard.com is my website. Mm-hmm. They can contact me there.
Micky, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. This was great.
Thank you.
I think so many people are going to be amazed by some of the stuff that you've gone through in your life, and it's been an inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Good.
Thank you.